Okay, well, surprise, surprise, the first stop on our holiday tour ended up being Italy. And that's only because we're going down to Spain, so I had my summer tyres put on yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and then yesterday they announced snow pretty much everywhere, so we saw some snow on the way out of Innsbruck, and apparently it's going to snow here overnight. It's looking a bit grim actually at the moment, and it's sort of starting to drizzle, but the other route would have taken us clear across Switzerland, where we definitely would have had snow, so this makes more sense. Car going by, that's a perfect little car for the village. So we're here, it's now Friday evening. We'll be here for the whole of Saturday and then leave from here on Sunday morning. It'll be quite a lot faster actually to get from here to our next stop, which is Avignon in the south of France. So I guess tomorrow maybe we'll just go to the market. I am on holiday, but I've got a couple of things to tidy up and maybe a little bit of touch-up painting to do. We'll see, but definitely not going to be doing any major construction work here because, as I say, this really is a holiday. So it's lovely to be here. The house is here. It's a lot warmer than it was last time I'm here. So I've still got the pellet burner going, but it's already pretty warm inside. And now I'm going to go and collect the kids and my better half, and I think we're going to head up to the Cooperativa for a beer. So that'll be an excellent start to the weekend. Okay, well, good morning. It's day 2 of the holiday. I guess yesterday was a driving day, so today's Saturday morning. And as I mentioned, we came here specifically to avoid the snow in Switzerland. Well, that perhaps hasn't worked out too well, although I think we'll probably be okay by tomorrow when we're leaving again. But I haven't seen this much snow here since we bought the house. So not great for the roses, but I think they'll survive. They always do. And it is very pretty, but it means we're sort of stuck up here. I wanted to go to the market this morning, but I'm not going to risk driving down with summer tyres now. So we'll see how we get on. But it's nice and warm and cozy inside. It's very pretty with the snow. So yeah, I'm going to head back in. We've had a lovely breakfast. I'm going to paint a couple of stains off the walls where there was a bit of water coming in and no longer is, so that should be well, that should now be dry, and once I've painted that, it'll make it look nicer. So that's about it. I haven't got a huge amount planned today because it's holidays. So I shall show you how the weather develops and how we get on before we leave. So no sign of it letting up so far. It is very pretty, but really quite annoying. Okay, well, this is our first stop on the route. We've stopped here for lunch. This is Finale Ligurian, out on the beach, as you just saw. We're going to pick up some lunch here, and then it's another 3 odd hours to Avignon. Well, once we'd gone through the old town yesterday, we went for dinner and that was it. But it's the next morning, and as you see behind me, I hope you can hear something over the wind, is the Papal Palace in Avignon. This is where the Pope lived before the Vatican. It's huge. There's a set of steps up here, there's a park behind us, but this is the main building, and this balcony up here is where he would address from, and this is basically the French St. Peter's Square. So fortunately bits of it are in scaffolding, as you can see over here, up that bit there, the big tower, but basically well worth a visit if you happen to be in this area of the south of France. So what you can see down there is the Avignon Bridge, most of which collapsed in the, I think, the 13th century. So it sort of stops right there in the middle of the Rhine. You can see this is the park behind the famous palace. And today they seem to be preparing some sort of musical wine event. But you can certainly understand why they built the palace here. The access onto the Rhone rather, is fabulous, and you get a view in every direction. Very windy again, but here we are on the back side of the palace, and the view from this side up on the park is also, I think you'll agree, fabulous. All of these lovely big open spaces. It is a very pretty town. Fortunately it's a bit windy, but it was snowing a couple of days ago, so I'm just happy for the sun. So we've just had a quick lunch here in Sète, which is about 20 minutes outside of Montpellier, on the way down to Barcelona. Lunch was fabulous, but it was indoors and it was quite busy, so would have been worth filming much. Sète is a lovely little fishing town. It has a bit of industrial harbour around it, but in the centre of town has this lovely old church. It's sort of very French Mediterranean, highly recommendable. So yeah, now back into the car now, about another 2.5 hours, 3 hours, not quite 3 hours down to Barcelona. And here we are, Barcelona beach. We've had a quick one through the aquarium. You can see the, where is it? There is that. In fact, it's the cable car that goes across town, which we're not going to do. But we're now going to look for somewhere nice for lunch, and then this afternoon we'll go up and down the Rambla, which is the main shopping mile here. Okay, on we go. And this was our final destination. So we're about an hour-ish, not quite, from Cordoba in Andalusia in Spain. We're visiting some friends who live here, who we met in the village in Italy. Very nice people with kids the similar age as our kids. It was a long drive, I think you'll agree. Pretty spectacular. Very different sort of spectacular to Tuscany, but spectacular nonetheless. You can see so far from, I mean, I'm stood on this is in fact a little water tower. It's not very high up, but the view is amazing. Mira, here's the school. Things every day. So this is the what do you call it? The royal where you keep the horses. Stables. Royal stables, yeah. So here we are in Cordoba. This, as you just saw behind me, this is the main cathedral, which used to be a mosque, because the whole area, as you can see, was very Arab influenced and was in fact under Arab control for quite a long time. So there are a lot of very different influences here. It's early April, it's absolutely packed, it's very warm. Just had a lovely lunch, so I'm just going to show you a few more sites as we walk around. And then I'll show you, in fact, our friend who we're staying with, they've just opened a new little store here, so I'll show that to you. And by the time we get back to the house, it'll be time for some more food, I think. Yeah, time for some unabashed advertising. Always help your friends where you can. If you're ever in Cordoba, come and have a look at this place. Let me show you around. Simplemente Cordoba. So it's not like your average tourist shop. It's postcards, posters, caps, t-shirts. Most of it's in some way to do with Cordoba. And it's pretty cool stuff, to be honest. So I did some shopping here, and if you're ever here, do pop in. Maybe you'll see something you like, and it's always good to help a friend with his new project. This opened this morning, so we've been helping a little bit, but basically great store, and it's also a great location. You can have a beer next door, and there's the main shopping mall down there with your you know, the big brands and what have you. So a great location. I'll put a link in the description of the video at the end, and these are the owners, Melina and Alex. Wave. There we go. And these are our various mixed children.
One second, Max.
Sortir des sandales. Hey. No, I'm videoing. And here we are in Madrid.
En la Muca.
In Amuca. This is Joe, who I went to school with, and I haven't seen for 27 years.
7 years.
So I must have been 4 or 5 at the time. Okay, well, here we are. It's a bit noisy in the background. We've arrived in Bilbao. We're about to go and visit the famous Guggenheim Museum, which I'll show you in a minute. Weather is lovely. It's a good, easy drive from Madrid, three and a bit hours. So here we are. I shall show you a little bit around. It is designed by Frank Gehry and completely covered in titanium. Absolutely spectacular, and if you're ever in Bilbao, then obviously you're going to go and visit this, but it is actually worth the detour. We did an extra couple of hours to come here just to visit that, and it was absolutely worthwhile. So I hope you enjoyed a couple of the little bits that I was able to show you, but you really need to come here yourselves. Okay, well, after yesterday's monster drive from Bilbao to Paris, it turns out that all of the information on the Disneyland Paris website is incorrect, and you can't buy tickets on the day, even though, as I shall show you now, it still says you can on their website in German and in English. And having spent 40 minutes waiting to get somebody on the phone from Disneyland, and nobody answering the phone, just music on an international number, I have a couple of disappointed kids. So instead of being at Disneyland, we are at Park Astérix. See Astérix sat up there. So hopefully that'll be a better do. But incredibly disappointed with appalling customer services and appalling information flow. You know, if you're going to go to Disneyland, for one day it's 300 euros to get one kid and 2 adults in there, the little one's free. And for that you get absolutely no service at all. So massively disappointed yet again from these massive corporations, but hopefully we'll have a bit of fun now here at Park Astérix. We're back on the road again after an excellent day at Park Astérix yesterday, which the kids loved, and I must be honest, I did too. Probably 1,000 times better than Disney at the best of times. It cost a third to get in. The waiting times were a lot less, and there were more rides, so I can highly recommend that. So we're now on our way out of the area of Paris, or the region, towards Lille, and then across towards Dusseldorf to the in-laws for Easter. It's now Good Friday, so there's a lot of traffic, and we've We've got about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours across Belgium and into Germany, and then a nice relaxing day tomorrow, and Sunday is Easter egg hunt day, and then on Monday back to Innsbruck. So I'll just probably show you if there's anything interesting on the route as we drive through, and otherwise I shall see you all tomorrow when we're Easter egg hunting. Okay, well, there we are, back home finally, after a couple of very exciting and busy weeks with a lot of interesting experiences and lots of new stuff. Spain was wonderful. I've never been before. To be completely honest with you, not so hot on the food, very hot on the landscape, the weather and the people, and the motorways. Motorways are fabulous out there. France, well, it's always nice to head back to France. The Disney thing, well, I've mentioned what my feelings on Disney are, but I can definitely recommend Park Astérix. So yeah, well, it's something different. It'll be a couple of weeks now. I think in 2 weeks I should be heading back down to Italy, and we'll catch up then. And for now, well, I hope you enjoyed this this little trip. For those of you who haven't travelled there, or who have, and if this isn't your thing, well then stay tuned. In 2 weeks we'll be back on the building site. So for now, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.